Ready?
Yep.
Good evening, everyone. It is Friday, August 22nd. Welcome to a revolutionary experience. Starting tonight, Cool FM Live is bringing you every Cochise County football team, every game, home games, away games, every Friday night for the entire season. Welcome to week one of the Cool Zone. Now, you know we can't call it a certain color like the color right behind me zone. That's already taken. But it's Jeff Davenport here. We're actually in the office of the Arizona Prep Academy. Coach Dennis Baker, the head basketball coach at Gwinnett High School. We've overtaken his office in here and are running wild as we are live here in studio, keeping an eye on the scores. For those of you who have been watching the games, we have what is Cool Zone, by the way? What is Cool Zone? Cool Zone is your opportunity to kind of get that red zone experience where we hang out in the studio and then we throw it to the different games to get ideas of what's happening. We see a team driving like we do right now in St. David versus Valley Union. Valley Union has the ball. They're down 35-0. It's going to be a running clock for their second half. Right now, as I speak, Benson is over Bisbee, in Bisbee, 14-0. Dawson Judd has had a fantastic first half, but still throwing a couple of interceptions. We'll talk about those. We'll see some of these highlights because we have an algorithm that's generating highlights that we can show you. So that's why this is completely revolutionary, and we're glad that you are joining the Cool FM Live Revolution here tonight inside the office of Coach Dennis Baker, who will be yelling at me, telling me what the scores are and things like that as we get other highlights, because tonight we have, as I said, a 1A South 8-man rivalry. The Valley Union Blue Devils at the St. David Tigers. St. David is just picking up right where they left off last season. They do not rebuild, they reload. We had a coach's corner talk with head coach Braden Davis a couple weeks ago. I think we posted it last week, and he is one of the most cerebral coaches that you will ever know. And he is picking up right where he left off. That offense, 35 points. They're in the third quarter right now. It looks like Bisbee and Benson are going to be starting the second half here momentarily.
Okay, cool.
They're going to be back to the second half.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Benson has that 14-0 lead. We'll show you highlights from that game momentarily. Two other games we're following tonight for Cochise County. Again, the Cool Zone, revolutionizing things that are going on across Cochise County. Our Wilcox team, 2A South 2 division. Remember, the 2A South divided into two different parts, so we could have a 2A South Division 1 Cochise County champion and a 2A South Division 2 Cochise County champion. The 2A South 2 Wilcox Counties are at Palo Verde tonight if they are the 2A South 1. Speaking of 2A South 1, Tombstone, a 2A South 1, they are playing in Miami, up in that area. And I'm getting a green light, which means we have some highlights from Benson Bisbee. So let's run this through some highlights here. I've got my notes, and we will look and see what we're going to be watching. Let me grab my earpiece. My earwig fell out. I don't know if I can hear again, will there be mistakes tonight? Yes, we appreciate you hanging in there with us as I get my earpiece in just to see if I get any volume on these.
Ready?
I don't have them, but let's take a look at some highlights here. There's Dawson Judd dropping back, and he throws as he gets hit, and it is an interception by Bisbee. This was a crucial moment where Bisbee needed that interception. You can see they were down 14-0. That highlight brought to you by the Ed Morris Automotive Group. Can we see that one more time? I want to watch how Dawson Judd watch how he was getting hit as he released. It was a great job by the defensive line, the linebacker coming around, and then the defensive back reading that play all the way in to his hands and making that interception. A huge play for Bisbee right before the end of the half. They weren't able to do anything with it. They're getting ready to start that third quarter. It appears that Bisbee is huddling up right now on the sideline. The cameras are on the Bisbee sideline. Benson is on the far sideline there. It looks like there was a two-point conversion that happened for the St. David game. So St. David might have scored again. We're going to get confirmation on that as well.
That's St. David.
And we got some St. David highlights. How about this? Going all around the county tonight. St. David at Valley Union. I'm sorry, Valley Union at St. David. The Blue Devils at the Tigers. Blue Devils having a heck of a time. Let's see some highlights from there as we get this going. You can see the St. David quarterback. That is number 6. Vincent takes that, rolls out to his left, and one of the few highlights there for St. David getting a big sack by number 32 coming in there for Valley Union, getting the sack on the St. David quarterback. A fantastic job by the defense that was running not very well over the course of that first half. It says 38-0 on the score right now in St. David. The St. David Tigers, and should be a running clock situation. I've called St. David games where it literally is a running clock the entire second half because they have that 35-0 lead or 42-0 lead. I think is maybe that might be the cutoff. Maybe they moved it down to 35. I'm not sure, but I got another green light here. What are we going to go see next?
Tombstone.
Going over to Tombstone. The Yellow Jackets in Miami tonight. A 2A South 1 division versus 2A East. Let's see how the Yellow Jackets are doing against Miami tonight. Oh, we got a field view. Tombstone looks like the quarterback dropping back. I don't know if he handed off to a running back there. And then coming up the sideline right there. Great job.
We're going to watch it again.
Number 1, Xavier Lopez. We're going to watch that one again as he comes right into your living room. Here on the sideline and getting wrangled out of bounds. A huge first down for Tombstone on that play up in Miami. What a great view from the sideline. Now, the cool part is, brought to you by the Ed Morris Automotive Group, the cool part is we're doing our best to try to have 2 camera angles for you here inside the Cool Zone. Welcome if you're watching us for the first time. We're live here in the office of head basketball coach at Buena High School, Dennis Baker. We've overtaken his office tonight to be able to bring you the Cool Zone. So what you're doing is you're able to flip back and forth to what we're doing here, giving you highlights of each game so you can kind of get an idea of what's going on, or just tune into the game that you want to see. I've got another green light. What are we going to go to next? We're going to Wilcox. Here we go, Wilcox at Palo Verde. 2A South 2 versus 2A South 1 tonight. The Cowboys are in Palo Verde taking on the Titans. Let's see that highlight. This is so exciting. Okay, so Wilcox looks like they're on the inside the 5-yard line. They hand off to number 2.
It's a left side on number 21 is a touchdown. Asher
For the score on the handoff from Caleb Cook. Great job by the Cowboys getting on the board there against Palo Verde. We'll get an update score. There was the extra point.
Says extra point is good. We are on in the first half. The score is Wilcox 42.
Is a very
That is 0.
A lot of these games will come the big play sponsored by SSBEC. Wilcox, keep up the good work over there in Palo Verde. If you're just joining us here, welcome to the Cool Zone. You're going to see all the cool graphics here, and we are in Dennis Baker's office here at AZ Prep Academy on Wilcox Drive in Sierra Vista, hanging out with him tonight.
Yeah,
and it looks like the Bisbee Benson is underway. I don't know if it was just a big play that just happened. We might be able just to throw it to Benson, but I do have a green light here. What kind of other highlight are we going to see?
Let's go live to Bisbee.
All right, we're going to go live to Bisbee.
157, a whole bunch of guys.
That wasn't a fair fight as far as I'm concerned. that was 5 people tackling one kid.
Now we got Tristan, quarterback, coming in for Bisbee at middle outside linebacker.
Oh, good gravy.
Come on, middle linebacker.
2A ball at its finest, baby. Rolling out to his right. Completed fast. Oh my, great job.
It's all coming back.
Oh no, there's a flag in the backfield. No, Tolby.
Coming back.
We should be out here, Jeff, now.
Well, that's good for Bisbee, though.
He's talking about the highlight reel. I'm not talking about the highlight reel here in the Cool Zone.
30 yards and he's got
Get
the
down
ball
towards
back.
the Cool Zone.
Because
John
that
and
was a
Jared
well-set-up
are
play. It's
live
just,
in
if it
Bisbee
wasn't for that
as
hold, he
Benson
might
has
have
that
been
commanding
sacked.
14 to
That was a
nothing
gain of 30.
in a game that has been very
35
penalty
yards.
plagued. If you have watched this game,
What a great
you
play.
know that there are a lot of
But
penalties that
all
have been
null and
going on
void.
throughout this game.
Well, you know, you can still
And
put
that's
that on the
something that
highlight
both
reel.
teams need to work on.
As far
As
as
I
I'm
said,
concerned.
at the beginning of the season, you need a good special teams and You need a strong senior
Got the
quarterback.
replay right
And
here.
Benson has just that.
Oh, it's
With
not even a replay.
Dawson Judd, the 5'11",
Yeah, it's the replay.
108-pound
So he's
senior
rolling out to his
quarterback,
right through
who
it deep.
is the field
Good ball
general
by
for the
Benson.
Bobcats
All right.
that are in
Dawson
this
Judd.
brand new 2A South 2. This is not a region game.
Right.
This is not even a conference game for
Santos
these two
out
teams
here.
that have been in the 2A. Oh,
Looks
is that
like
false
Hard
start?
count. Hard count on the
Or did they draw them off?
Bisbee
We're going
jump.
to find out here as they come into the head official that you see on the right side
You
of your
know,
screen. With a
I've
flag on the
been
play.
under
We've
the
got a whole
impression
team
that,
of people
like,
here, by the way. We got
people
Doggo,
can
Lotto,
pretty
Dan running a lot of
unreasonable,
stuff
but I
here.
feel like
Dennis
everybody
Baker
I've
coming
been
in and
to
out,
has
getting
been
scores
very-
for me. And then we got some other assistants off to the other side in the other room that are bringing you these Game of the Week highlights that you can see on the bottom of your screen. So they're going to count that it was a false start. And so they will back up Benson a couple of yards as we are taking a live look inside the Benson at Bisbee game. So the ball gets set back down, and they're having a talk, the head official having a talk with the coach on the far sideline. Welcome back into the cool zone here as we await to see
Go to St. David. Live.
what will be next. Let's go to St. David. Why don't we throw it over there?
To the line of scrimmage, single back. Two receivers to the far side. And just a handoff. I mean, he's going to try to go up the far sideline. He's got a lot of room to run. One man to beat. Pulls over and tackled just short of the end zone. And that'll be down about the 2-yard line. So he started off tackle with a great cutback, headed up the far sidelines, and once he got past the linebacker, he was pretty much one-on-one with that corner on that side. And
I don't know what
they
I
brought
saw.
him down
No, I didn't
just
see the
short of
touchdown
scoring
play. I
at
must be
the
behind.
2-yard
Oh,
line.
I'm behind. It's up there. That's what. Okay. So there was the touchdown play, the right side that ended up going in. Which screen should I be looking at, by the way?
The big one.
The big one? Oh, okay.
The big one is-
So it hasn't happened yet. Okay.
The big one's what's
Touchdown
live on
hasn't
Cool
happened
Zone.
yet. Guess what? We just spoiled it for you. Spoiler coming here in the cool zone. Let's go back because we're gonna see. Oh, this is another highlight here.
No, this is it.
No.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
This was,
sorry.
this was the.
There you go.
Here we go. Now we're live. We're live in St. David.
Who's playing?
Drops the ball, but picks it back up, and he will not even get touched as he goes in to that front pylon
Another
for the
touchdown,
score.
just
St.
an easy
David
run
is now in
to the near
total
side.
control. And I believe if the running clock starts at 42 points, it's going to be a running clock from here on out. A tough start to the season for the Valley Union Blue Devils, who had a very good season last year. They were just over 500. We were looking forward to having a talk with the Valley Union head coach. Unfortunately, that did not happen this week. It was set for Thursday, and unfortunately, Skylar Hill was not available on the day that we were set to go. But we're looking at the extra point now, and they botched the extra point. They'll pick it up and make one cut inside, and they get a 2-point conversion on that. St. David winning on offense, obviously winning on defense, and even winning on special teams tonight. This is the cool zone here inside the office of head coach Dennis Baker, the Buena basketball coach. You can see, sorry, let me move this way because you got all the cool basketball things that he's got here, all the autographs, all the fun stuff from all his years. Today. Looking at the scores here again, it's still 14-0 over in Bisbee. Excuse me, it's Bisbee is the home team because that's where John and Jared are. For those of you who've been watching that game, thanks so much for tuning in. So the score now is 51-0. There, we got a green light. What does that mean, Dan?
Bisbee.
Let's see, Bisbee. Checking out a highlight here. Looks like Bisbee was trying to get out of the end zone, and did they fumble it on that play? They might have fumbled it. That might be why the algorithm ended up taking that over. And now we have the Benson Bobcat quarterback, and he throws an interception right there. These were two. That was one of the two interceptions during the first half that we saw Dawson Judd make. The mistakes that he made, will that end up costing them a chance? It obviously cost them a chance at more points. Thank you, SSBDC, for sponsoring that highlight reel. It cost them more points, but will it end up costing them in the long run? The good part for Benson, Dennis and I were talking about this as we were getting everything set up and ready to go. We were saying that the good part about Benson is you've got a senior quarterback And that's what you need to start this season out strong. Dan, we got a white light. What are we doing?
White means nothing. What do you want?
Yes, even in spite of the 2 interceptions, by the way, Dawson Judd was the punter who ended up punting them down to the 1-yard line where they were. And on that play there, that might have been a turnover. So, again, we're just hanging out here in the Cool Zone tonight and checking out the highlights from across the county. The Cool Zone, every Friday, every game for Cochise County football, all in one place. It's like this color here. It's like that zone that is sometimes Rojo, but we're the Cool Zone, as you can see from the screen in front of me. Looks like we got green. Where are we going to? What are we doing?
Let's check out St. David. I got a bunch.
All right, we're going to go into St. David and see some highlights from them. Let me get my papers ready because there are so many St. David Tigers highlights. Let's take a peek and see who is doing what. Again, looking at some first half highlights. Oh, on that toss there, almost.
Disaster. St. David averting disaster. You can see the quarterback, Vincent, slapping himself on the head. Mad at himself for making a error like that. But again, this is exactly what happens. So the next play, what does he do? Man in motion. Oh, that's the same play there. We saw that one again. So.
Oh, is it?
Yep, that was the same play with him coming right down on top of that. No worries. Again, will there be mistakes? It's all right. We're in the Cool Zone. It's fine. We're just hanging out tonight with you guys watching this. Oh, here we go. So Valley Union with the ball, driving from our right to our left. And there is the St. David defense. Wow, big hit, but a huge play by number 9, Cedar Haney. The 5'10", 185-pound senior coming up big for the Tigers. Look at that. Oh, my goodness. He just keeps wrangling them down. That's awesome. Oh, my goodness. That is fantastic. What a great highlight for Cedar Haney. Thank you, SSVEC, for bringing us that highlight here in the Cool Zone tonight on Friday, August 22nd. 4 games in action right now. You want to see some other highlights here?
Hang on.
Okay, no worries. We are still, it's 14-0 Benson, 51-0 St. David, and waiting for an update on the Tombstone score and the Wilcox score. But we do have our highlight algorithm working for both of those games. This is something brand new to Cochise County. Never been done before. This zone is not Rojo. It's cool tonight. Green means go.
Tombstone?
Let's see some Tombstone highlights.
That's not Tombstone.
That's not Tombstone, but that's all right. So there's Dawson Judd backing up, and that is the interception that he threw. That was the second interception that he threw tonight in that first half. Did it come back to bite them? No. Everything started from scratch, coming back here into the Cool Zone. They had those 2 interceptions that Dawson Judd threw. But again, he is a senior leader. He is like a 4-year starter for the Benson Bobcats. You know that if anyone will remain composed over the course of a season, much less over the course of a very first game, it will be number 9 there in Benson, Dawson Judd.
Bisbee game. They're driving.
Bisbee?
So let's go live. Let's go take an in-game look at Bisbee, as Bisbee is on the move. They're just coming out of what looks like a timeout as you see the coaches heading back over to the sideline. Did we go to Jared and John, or are we on my call?
Jared and John are quiet.
Okay, so I can call this if you want. I can call this. Looks like the head official having some words with the Bisbee sideline. Jared and John are live there. You can hear their call. And again, I'm looking at the big screen, right? I'm not looking at the screen up. Okay.
Big screen.
Just making sure that we got that coordinated here. So, because I'm seeing the game as it's actually being played on the other screen. This is the Cool Zone view that I have. I have a big screen that's showing me stuff, and I got 2 other screens that are showing me where it is emanating from. And so, the Pumas will line up. Number 7, Tristan Meyer, takes the snap, hands off to number 11, Fabian Hernandez, who is just a powerhouse, 6'2", 250-pound senior. Fabian, the big running back. Will they be able to actually start putting some dents, finding the dents in the Benson defensive armor? That's the question that Bisbee needs to be asking themselves. How much do they have left in the tank here? We're only in the third quarter, and you're only down by 2 scores. Your defense could step up and do something big. Oh, the first time that Bisbee has been in Benson territory all night long. So maybe they're finding an answer. Looks like 2 receivers to the near side, and that was some miscommunication from Tristan and Fabian, and Tristan will try to get something out of nothing, and it doesn't look like that happened. It might be a loss of 1. Tristan is a 5'10", 185-pound junior. He looks almost as big as the 250-pound Fabian Hernandez on the field, but I mean, my goodness. He is bumbling, stumbling, rumbling. It'll be 3rd down for that Bisbee offense. It'll be looks like about a 3rd and 7 from the view that I have as we see them come up to the line. Tristan waiting in the shotgun. Twins to the left. Looks left, finally throws, gets hit as he throws that ball up in the air and ends up going down out of bounds. So we'll see what they're able to do next. We've got another highlight to go to. Let's check out a St. David highlight and see what the Tigers are doing against the Blue Devils. Maybe. We don't. There we go. Okay, so there's the Blue Devils. So, yep, it looks like this was in the second quarter when, the Blue Devils end up losing the ball, and there is St. David. Who was that? Who got that? It looks like number 9 for St. David. And that was Cedar Haney getting that. 57-0 St. David. So St. David has scored once again. 58 after the extra point. So St. David now leads Valley Union 58-0. I'm going old school here. You know, I got a pencil here that I stole from Coach Baker. I got my 4 games going on right here in front of me. I got the TV screen showing me stuff. I got me on this big screen here, and then we flip over to other things. I don't know if we want to go and see, because it looks like Benson is still driving. We might want to go in-game to Benson.
Yeah, they just made a big play. They're in scoring position.
Okay, so Benson is in scoring position now, so they could cut this lead in half. If we go down to Benson,
give everything to the head
we're
coach.
waiting. So we've got Dan on the phone trying to get things squared away here. So,
Yeah, give it to the coach. Thanks, man.
ooh, what just happened there? My goodness, that looks like almost an interception. This is not a highlight. This is actually live footage that we're watching. Dawson Judd came up and almost stripped the ball out of that Bisbee Puma's hands. Cameron Anderson? Got it. Cameron Anderson, the 6'1 junior. And we're coming back here. Oh, we got the I don't know if you could see the screen in front of me. We've got a little action going on right here. A little box in front of me.
What do you got?
I've got if you want to come around here, they got this box here in front of me.
Oh yeah, he's got
Your toolbox. The
file.
Yeah, the file box sitting right it's in my way, Dan. I know it's not on the screen, but I don't know how that got there.
It's from right here, I think. I mean, I don't want to mess it.
Yeah, no, you're right. What?
I don't know how.
We don't know. Again, this is our first week doing this, but we're doing this for the community and being able to bring this together. There we go. Thank you. It's gone now. Do we want to go take a live look in?
Bisbee.
Let's take a live look at Bisbee. Here we go. Bisbee is lining up. Looks like it's a goal to go situation, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't know what down it is. Gives the handoff to the big man, who gets tripped up right there. So a good tackle by Dawson Judd, number 9, doing everything on offense, defense, special teams. He is coming through for his team to keep that shutout going. But I'll tell you what, it is tough to stop a 250-pound freight train that is Fabian Hernandez. Again, it's Jeff Davenport here in the Cool Zone taking a live look inside this Bisbee-Benson matchup. No longer in conference together. The Benson Bobcats with that 14-0 lead. Bisbee looking to cut into it. And Tristan will keep around the edge, gets hit, and goes out of bounds. So, stopped just short of the goal line. What is the down? That is my question. I'm trying to look and see on the Warren Ballpark scoreboard. It's 1 to go, and this should be 3rd down, I believe. So they line up. This could be the chance for Bisbee to cut this lead in half. They hand off to the big man who gets stuffed. They come up big. It will be a 4th down opportunity. The Benson defense holding on the goal line, and you can see Tristan putting his hands on his hips. Disturbed by that play, it will be 4th and goal for the for the Pumas, as the Bobcat defense looks to hold. Or is this 3rd and 1? This is 4th down and incomplete. In and out of the hands, through the end zone. And that's where we are. And Benson will take over on downs deep in their own territory. The question comes down to, what will they be able to do? I got green. Where are we going to, Dan?
I got Bisbee Benson highlights leading up to what we just
Oh, great. Let's go see some highlights that took us to that. We'll see some Bisbee offensive highlights that we haven't seen all night long. They've been shut out. So, looks like we got a Benson highlight first. So Dawson throws, nice completion to number 13. That was, no, I can't. Jason Santo. I don't hear that. I don't. I'm sorry. Welcome back, everybody, to the Cool Zone. Hanging out with you here tonight. Yeah. Let me make sure my earwig is still on.
I got more Benson for you. Bisbee Benson.
I don't even know if it's on. Hang on. Is there a light on this thing?
Here, bring it over here.
Let me check it.
Oh, thanks. So they're checking that, and we've got another Bisbee Benson highlight. Let's take a peek. Here we go. Here's where Bisbee started their drive. It's a 2nd and short. They hand off, and they get a big 1st down right there, right up the middle. Every time you hand off to Fabian Hernandez, he's going to go bumbling, stumbling forward the entire time. And this was the drive that took them all the way down to the 1-yard line. And Benson's defense, they bent, but they did not break. The Bobcats held the Pumas, and now they are still deep in their own territory as we speak. It looks like Judd makes a big pass play. We can go live right there and catch that if we can go into Benson. So let's watch this replay here. This is actually, I just saw the live play, and we're going to watch it happen here as deep in their own territory on a 3rd and 4. Benson has to make a play. And what does Dawson Judd do? He does what Dawson Judd does. The 5'11" senior quarterback sees his receiver to the right, comes in, steps back, rolls to his right, tosses really fast, and then boom, breaks a tackle and starts taking off. And the Benson defense comes down to wrangle him out of bounds, but a huge catch by Wayne Stark, the 5'10", 155-pound junior wide receiver up the line, makes a big 1st down for Benson. Why don't we stay with this and see how many more big plays that Benson can get?
Nominee for Player of the Week.
Easily on that play, deep in your own territory, being able to flip the field almost on a dime and get to midfield. Just a is my voice being heard too, or is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just making so I'm over Jared and John right now.
Yeah, I've got them turned down. You can in their back.
Okay, so Jared and John, you can, if you want to go see them, they're on the main page right now, and watch their call, listen to their call. In the meantime, I'm just sitting here in the Cool Zone watching the other games, 58-0 in St. David, as St. David is putting a thumping in that 1A South 8-man conference matchup against Valley Union. The Elfrida team having some trouble here tonight, but that is all St. David does. They do what the Tigers do. They're absolutely awesome. So we're staying live here in Bisbee as Benson, wearing their white jerseys with red helmets. Dawson Judd puts the man in motion to the right side, and that's going to be a flag. It'll be a false start, so that play will not matter. That will be coming back. Looks like somebody ended up jumping. Unless someone was in the neutral zone, we're going to see, I believe that was a false start, and that's what the call is. So they'll be backed up 5, so that'll put them at around the 38-yard line. So replay the down. That should replay second down. And that's what we'll see when we come back to this game as they get reset here. Benson, 14-0 lead off of the play of number 9, Dawson Judd, right now.
Dawson Judd has the 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, so those 2 touchdowns were scored by Dawson with his wheels, right? He ran it in. So, but he had great passing plays, like you saw, a great play getting them out of their deep in the end zone territory. You're inside the cool zone. It's Jeff Davenport hanging out with Coach Dennis, with Dan the Man, and we got our friends over on the other side of the room hanging out, getting all the highlights aggregated and things like that going on here in the cool zone. Every week, every game, every Cochise County football team, we are here to try to cover it all and get you the highlights. I got green. What do we want to do? Tombstone highlights. Let's see how the Yellow Jackets are doing in Miami.
That's not fun.
That's not them. That's Dawson Judd. That's okay. Look, we're just having fun here. Are there going to be mistakes? It might happen once or twice. I'm sure you'll forgive us. This is brand new technology to us as we're working with it live for the first time, doing a live run, getting football highlights together for these incredible teams. Here we go. So this is in Miami tonight. A field view. And it looks like Tombstone is on the defense. Tombstone's wearing the white jerseys. Miami has the green jerseys on. And Miami getting a big run. And that was intercepted. Tombstone with a big play and a run back, taking it all the way up to the 25-yard line. I almost didn't see the number. It looked like number 6, but there is not a number 6 on the Max Preps. That could have been number 5, Hank Moody. He's a junior free safety. That could have been Hank getting that. If it's not, I apologize. But a fantastic interception by Tombstone there, being able to get that play and hopefully keep their drive alive. White light, where are we going?
White light means nothing.
White light means nothing. See, I know you can't tell the difference in the colors here when the lights go. They go white, they go red, they go green, and to tell me what we're doing here. Still 14-0 over in Bisbee Benson, and it looks like we are in the fourth quarter now, and Benson is driving down the field. We might want to do a cut-in to see the Benson game. Let's see if we can cut in live there and watch this play here. This will be the first play of the fourth quarter, I believe, as it is 2nd down and 9 for Benson. Dawson Judd pointing to his wide receiver, Wayne Stark, as he gets that play. Takes it from the shotgun, gets the snap, looks to the center of the field, and finds number 13, Jason Santo. And Santo gets a huge first down for Benson. We're taking a live look here inside the cool zone as Jared and John are there in Bisbee. The Pumas defense not able to hold up this amazing offense, all powered by big number 9, the 5'11", 180-pound senior quarterback, Dawson Judd. Almost a hurry-up offense as they get to the line with a 1st and 10. Ball spotted at the Bisbee 34. Dawson from the shotgun takes it, and that's a nice pass there. I believe that was number 32 who caught that pass, who is Broden Tedford, end up getting that pass. He's a sophomore, 6 foot, 200-pounder. And again, the hurry-up offense, Benson just trying to wear Bisbee down. This is the difference, having a 4-year starter in game 1, in week 1, with what Benson is doing. They hand off up the middle. They get quite a few yards there, taking it up to the 20, off of the feet of Rene Lorda, the 5'6" junior. A great play by him, and we're taking a live look in again. So they are in, they're in the red zone officially, and we're in the cool zone here, hanging out. In the fourth quarter, Benson is on the drive, and we'll see what they're able to do here as they get their offensive line. Looks like it's unbalanced, balanced to the left-hand side. Receivers split. And pass going to the left. Nice block downfield. Number 4, Raleigh Evans runs it in for the passing touchdown. And that will put 6 more points on the board for the Bobcats. A big play for Benson, and they add to their lead. It is 20-0 in Bisbee tonight.
You want the extra point, or you want?
Let's stay for the extra point. Let's see what happens on the extra point, and then we'll cut back in and see where we want to go from here as we're getting highlights from the 4 Cochise County teams that are playing. Well, the 4 games involving Cochise County teams. Obviously, both Cochise County teams here with that 2A South 2 and the 2A South 1. The kick is up, and it is good. It is 21-0. Benson over Bisbee. You are in the Cool Zone. It's Jeff Davenport hanging out with you here on this Friday, this fine Friday. Got a green light. What's that mean? Where are we going?
Wilcox.
Let's go to Wilcox and see what the Cowboys are doing against Palo Verde. So we've got a field level game.
Isaac Train gets. There's a pitch out to the quarterback. Jackson Tyson gets a Palo time first down.
Thank you to that play sponsored by the Ed Morris Automotive Group here inside the Cool Zone.
In the Tombstone, 28-7. Miami's up.
Okay, so Miami's up 28-7 over Tombstone. So Tombstone having a rough start to their season here in this 2A South 1 division. Bisbee in the brand new 2A South 1 division down 21-0 at home for their season opener tonight. And Wilcox, looking for a score from Wilcox. We'll get that momentarily. Back over to St. David. They're up 58-0 over Valley Union. So hanging out here in the Cool Zone tonight. This is Jeff Davenport. Got a green light here. Where are we going to, Dan?
St. David.
Let's go see some St. David highlights. I'm sure it's going to be all St. David. As their quarterback, the ball slips away out of his hands. One of the few errors probably by between the center and the quarterback. That was in the second quarter. So a little miscommunication for Vincent Ciccarello? I don't know exactly how you say his last name.
I got more St. David coming.
But let's see some more St. David. Let's keep going. Let's see what they're able to do. Okay, so this is Valley Union. The quarterback fumbled the ball, tried to get it out, but it's a pick. And it is not just a pick, it's a pick six as Emmett Eder, the junior corner, 6'1", 175 pounds, takes it into the end zone for a defensive score. So St. David in the second quarter, not just doing it on offense, but doing it on defense as well. That highlight brought to you by the Ed Morris Automotive Group. That's what the Cool Zone's all about, giving you highlights from the games. Tombstone at Miami, and now let's go back to St. David. Here we go again, and that pass goes to Valley Union's wide receiver. Boy, he put his shoulder down, but ended up losing his bonnet in the process. What a big first down for Valley Union, trying to get highlights for them as well. We want all of our Cochise County teams, including the ones, hey, maybe they're just having a tough day at the office today, as Valley Union is. It's 58-0. It's going to be a running clock. That will be the game that finishes first this evening. And even if there is a flag on the play, I believe the clock still runs. Someone can correct me on that in the live chat. But even when there's a flag, it doesn't matter. We got green. Where are we going to? Staying in Bisbee and Benson. Looking at some highlights here for them. That's what the Cool Zone's all about. We're taking you to all these different games here to give you the highlights.
Sorry, I don't have any.
And am I talking over the highlights, by the way? Or
You are.
Okay, just making sure that I'm talking over them and they're not talking over me. I don't want to interrupt the call that Jared and John made, especially there in Benson.
I don't have
So.
Bisbee Benson, sorry.
Oh, okay. Hey, that's all right. 21-0 though, and it looks as if the Bisbee offense is deep in their own territory. As we're watching this game here, I don't know how they got backed up that far, but they certainly did. And this is going to be tough. It looks like a timeout is called on the play in Bisbee Benson. So it looks like Bisbee possibly called a timeout, and it's 21-0. Bisbee is down. So some lopsided scores here tonight so far. Where are we? Valley Union at St. David. St. David leads 58-0. Running clock in the fourth quarter. Tombstone, Yellow Jackets at the Miami Vandals up in Graham Greenlee, Gila County, the Gila Valley region up there. And Tombstone is down 28-7. These are the kind of scores that we expect to see in the early season, knowing that Miami has a senior quarterback coming back. That's why they have a 28-7 lead. The Benson Bobcats have good old Dawson Judd there, a senior quarterback, and he has a commanding lead in Bisbee, 21-0. And I've got blue. What does blue mean?
It's green.
Oh, it's green. Now it's
It's
green.
yellow.
Now it's yellow. It's like changing color. What are you doing? You're just messing with me. He's just messing with me now. He's just trying to change colors off me. I'm like, we got green, which means we got a highlight that we're going to go to. Let's see a St. David highlight here. Looks like the quarterback is under center in an I formation. Hand off to the tailback, getting one block. And in 8-man football, you make one man miss. Cedar Haney will make you pay every single time. What a big play. I believe that was number 9, Cedar Haney, going in for the touchdown. I believe that's who that was. 5'10", 185-pound senior, and that is what St. David does. We had that discussion with their head coach last week, and we put it on Cool FM, I believe, last week as well. We've got some more. It looks like we might have some more highlights. I'm missing my earpiece, so I don't have that in at the moment. But we're having a good time tonight here in the Cool Zone as highlights are being generated. The algorithm is working where we're able to get you these various highlights from around the county. Again, giving you the update. It is still 21-0 in Bisbee. Benson over Bisbee, 58-0. Looks like we're having some lag issues in St. David at the moment.
I got more St. David highlights, though.
But let's see some more St. David highlights. I mean, that's what we're here for. Let's watch these highlights. Again, an I formation. Cedar Haney, he will throw the ball. What a trick play. Even getting trick plays out of the bag this early in the season. Let's watch that again. A jump pass. That was almost like the Tim Tebow the Florida Gator jump pass back in the, early 2000s, mid-2000s? Thank you so much, Ed Morris Automotive Group, Sierra Vista, and all of Cochise County, including St. David, is backed by more. St. David, the commanding 58-0 lead.
I got more for him then.
Let's go see some more St. David. Why not? This is the Cool Zone. This is what we do. The quarterback, number 6, Vincent, hands off to big number 33, Chase Pacheco. And remember, these 8-man football players, they play multiple sports. They don't just do football. These are the same guys who do the basketball, and they do baseball. And you see them all season long. There's another look at it, taking it off that left-hand side. Good pursuit by Valley Union, and at least let's give number 11 from Valley Union a shout out. That was Michael Durasso putting his shoulder down to try to stop the big running back coming right at you. Chase Pacheco, by the way, 205 pounds. And there was a drop ball by the quarterback, but it didn't matter. Going in untouched at the near pylon, and no one able to catch Vincent, the sophomore, 5'9", 155-pound quarterback who makes himself look as if he is completely seasoned. Here was the extra point that St. David went for on that play. Botched snap, or botched handle on the snap, but it doesn't matter. Cedar Haney runs it in for the 2-point conversion. He is the threat all over the field. The running back, the linebacker, 5'10", 185. Cedar Haney doing it there on that as well. We're just hanging out with you here in the Cool Zone. Looks like there's still some buffering issues at the moment in St. David. But again, that game is completely out of control anyway. 58-0 there. Still 21-0 over in Bisbee. Benson with a commanding 21-0 lead. And that's where we're looking at the last score update we had for Tombstone. Tombstone was losing to Miami in the Gila Valley, 28-7. And still waiting for the Wilcox score. We need a Wilcox update. Let's see what's going on, because these are the scores that are going on, or the games that are going on here in the Cool Zone. It's Jeff Davenport here in the office of head basketball coach at Buena High School, Dennis Baker. You can tell with all the basketball stuff going on, this is his office. We moved the studio. We put the studio, I shouldn't say we, Dan the man moved the studio here to get everything going on, to make sure we could put everything together. We did a test run last night to see if everything was working. It was working great. And then things weren't, but hey, you know what? Blessed are the flexible, for they shall not be broken. That's what we say here in the Cool Zone, and we're glad that you're joining us. This is all about showing you the highlights and giving you in-game looks at the different games that are going on live as we speak. Again, the buffering issues there in St. David. getting a few different looks there. But getting a good feed from Bisbee and Benson. So again, if you're watching the Bisbee-Benson game and you're rooting for the Bobcats, you were having a good night tonight. I think Benson is going to be really happy with what they're doing. We got green. Where are we going?
I got some Bisbee-Benson. Let me know if you've seen any of these.
That's fine. If we haven't, people could still be tuning in. So this was when it was 3rd and 1. Or was this 4th and 1? This might have been the 4th and 1 play because that was the incomplete pass. That was the deepest that Bisbee ended up in Benson territory, and they still could not convert. And that was what caused the 4th down stop by the Benson defense. And then Benson ends up making a huge play here on 3rd and 4. Watch this rollout that Dawson Judd does. Finds his receiver almost in stride as number 13. Jason Santo, the 6'2" junior, runs that thing nearly to midfield, and then there was a few penalties that ended up pushing Benson back. So this is back in the 3rd quarter. Highlights here on the near side. Great catch by Raleigh Evans. Raleigh Evans had the touchdown catch, one of the touchdowns. So again, we're just watching highlights here. You are seeing it as we're seeing it here. Thank you, Ed Morse Automotive Group. Bisbee and Benson and all of Cochise County are backed by Morse. Thanks for tuning in to the Cool Zone. The current score update, 21-0. That's the lead that we have, that Benson, the Bobcats have over the Pumas for week 1. And remember the change that happened in the 2A. The 2A is no longer the 2A San Pedro that we once knew is no longer in existence. They split it. There's a 2A South 1 and a 2A South 2. So this Benson-Bisbee game is not even a conference game. I got green. Where are we going to? Let's go see a Tombstone highlight here from the field. Tombstone wearing the white jerseys with the black helmets. Their quarterback ends up holding it down, and look at the sideline. The sideline guy was covering up his head. He was going, oh no, is it coming at me? I don't know. He wasn't watching the play as it was happening. I think that was more of a highlight than what we saw there. But again, giving you field views, and that's what we're aiming to do here over the course of this season. Not just being able to do from the view that you're seeing if you're watching the St. David game or if you're watching the Bisbee-Benson game where you're seeing the highlights from the main shot up high, but we want field views as well. We've actually done that, having a field view there in Tombstone. So, hanging out with you here in the Cool Zone. Still 21-0. Jared and John on the call there in Bisbee and Benson. So, if you're watching this after the fact, please do us a favor. Leave some love in the live chat or just heart the video. If you're watching this after, maybe you wanted to catch all the highlights from what was going on today or tonight for the Cochise County teams. That's what the Cool Zone is all about. The Cool Zone is bringing you the excitement, the action, the highlights. Every game, home games, away games, all season long. And that's why we're here. Welcome to the revolution. Welcome to the Cool Zone. I think we want to go live. Let's go look live in at Bisbee-Benson. Can we go there live right now? Bisbee down 21-0. Their defense looks gassed. Dawson Judd looks strong. He comes up to the line on a 3rd and short, a 3rd and a long 4, as this camera angle is perfect right against the line. Number 4, Raleigh Evans in motion. They fake the handoff. Good play action. Dawson rolls to his left and makes the completed pass to Andrew Workman, who breaks a couple tackles, goes back to the center of the field, and gets dragged down. A huge 3rd down conversion for the Bobcats as they get a big 1st down. Did they get inside? They're definitely in the red zone right now, but are they in the 10-yard? Are they in an and goal to go situation? Not sure, but another great play by Dawson Judd. He's making it happen with his feet and with his arm. He has 2 touchdowns himself. He's responsible for all 3, so he has 2 rushing touchdowns, and then the passing touchdown to Raleigh Evans that happened a little bit earlier in the 3rd quarter. We are in the 4th quarter, and there's a flag on the play. I wasn't sure if the flag was against. Oh, no, is that coming back? They're going to bring it all the way back. My goodness, so that doesn't even count. But let's keep this live look in here. I believe we're going to have something exciting coming up for one of these teams. Again, spoiler, as I have a view of what what is going on live, and then on the replay live. So yeah, big play coming up here. Check it out as we get the live look. Wayne Stark on the bottom of the screen. Dawson Judd fakes the handoff, and he will keep it, breaking a tackle, almost hurdling. Actually, he did hurdle Tristan Meyer playing defense. No flags on that play. That is a big first down. You can see the intensity from those Bisbee players on the sideline. They know this game is slipping away from them. But my goodness gracious, yeah, come on in, hang out. So, the St. David game has wrapped. St. David is in the books. That game is over. Final score 58-0 in St. David. That is final. Valley Union getting a rough start. Dawson getting dragged down. Will he hold on to the ball? He does. How did he hold on to that ball? My goodness. He was just like with one hand, very dangerous. But again, you have that composed senior who's not going to throw the ball away. He's already had 2 interceptions tonight. He's not going to make it a third, especially when they're this deep in Bisbee territory. I don't know the down or distance. Can't see the scoreboard from our vantage point. Again, I'm watching this live just like you guys are. It is second down. I just barely saw that on the camera on the left-hand side, so it's second down.
If you do need a breaker to step out, I do have their audio that I can turn up.
Oh, that's fine. No, that's fine too. I enjoy making the call here. And that is a huge pass, and that is in for the touchdown. Raleigh Evans again. Another score from Judd to Rollins. It's 27-0, but flag on the play. Oh, goodness. This is the fun part about the Cool Zone, being able to give you a live look at what's going on. So, again, the last we checked, Yellow Jackets are down in Miami 28-7. We'll get an update on that. But the only final that we have thus far is St. David Tigers picking up right where they left off last season, winning their home opener 58-0. And we're waiting for a score from Wilcox Palo Verde. That's the one we're waiting for scores from. We've had a couple of highlights from Wilcox Palo Verde. So, but the game of the week that we've all been watching is this formerly known as 2A San Pedro matchup, but now between the 2A South 2 Benson Bobcats versus the 2A South 1 Bisbee Pumas. Dawson, oh my gosh, total miscommunication on that play. The running backs and the quarterback not even knowing where to go. And how does Dawson make something out of nothing? A botched play ends up getting big positive yards for the Bobcats. And why don't we just stay with this? You know what? Let's turn up Jared and John and hear their call on this next play.
Incredible job. Man, Benson. I mean, as great as we've seen Bisbee in the last 2 or 3 years, this is a total turnaround. Bisbee is just dominating.
I told everybody with Rasmussen coming back into this area.
Quarterback rolls to the right,
Nice
get the
catch by
completion,
two.
touchdown!
Andrew Workman, touchdown by the Bobcats.
Bobcats score again. Score is now 27-0. 6 minutes left. Man, what are we gonna expect from the Bobcats this season? You know, like Bisbee isn't bad here. I think what we're seeing is a really, really good Benson team.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's not that Bisbee's struggling so much. Bisbee just doesn't have the depth.
Yeah, you're looking at the entire team right there.
Yeah, and there's not much there.
Trying to get that block.
They did.
They got it. Incredible block by Bisbee.
Cameron Anderson got his hand on there.
All right, audio live here in the Cool Zone. So a blocked field goal, or blocked extra point attempt, makes the score 27-0. So another added value of the Cool Zone is that all of these highlights that you see from this game, 27-0, Benson over Bisbee. Boy, Coach Baker was just saying, we didn't see this coming. But again, when you have a senior quarterback like Dawson Judd, this is what you expect. You expect a 4-year starter like him to be able to come in and be that field general. And maybe you've never heard of Dawson Judd, but guess what? The highlights that you're going to see on the Cool FM Sports Show on the field tomorrow, you will be seeing a lot of Dawson Judd this season, and we look forward to him. He's easily going to be at least the 2A South 2 player of the week. I don't know if any other, I don't know, Wilcox might have something going on here. Again, we're taking a live look inside the Benson-Bisbee game. And that goes out of bounds as I drop my pencil. So, out of bounds play. I'm not sure if on the kickoff, if that puts the ball up at the 30-yard line or the 35-yard line. We'll see where it gets spotted. It looks like it's going to the 35-yard line, and that is where they will start. But again, the great part about the Cool Zone is, guess what? We've partnered with all of these schools to be able to have them provide us camera people at all these games. And guess what we give them in exchange? What Dan gives them in exchange is access to all of these highlights. It's absolutely incredible using the algorithm that we have, the proprietary software that Dan is using and creating for this Cool Zone every single Friday night, every single Cochise County football game, home game, away game, and all of the highlights get aggregated, and the schools can use these. The players can use these for their chance to say, hey, Dawson Judd is a senior. He's looking to play at the next level. And the way he's playing tonight, he's looking like he could easily play at the next level. And that's what he wants, is highlights, and we are able to aggregate those highlight reels. I got some green. What are we singing? Dan the Man.
St. David.
Let's go to St. David and see some of these highlights from earlier in this game. It is a final. This was the final extra point, I believe. There it is, and that was the one that put the button on this game. So that happened in the third quarter. So with that running clock in the fourth quarter, because when you have a 58-0 lead, you're going to have that clock running the entire time. Here's Valley Union with the ball. A high toss, and that will be just playing center field. Number 3, Logan Flake, the junior, 6'1", 175-pound defensive back, saw that ball lobbed up into the air, made the interception, and then what did they do to capitalize on it? Again, with a running clock, St. David decides to throw. It looks like there's a new quarterback and a left-handed quarterback, so this is the opportunity that St. David has. Why is St. David such a perennially awesome team? Because their seniors end up getting such a big lead that the young players, the underclassmen, can come in and make big plays like this, even on a botched shovel pass, and that was where, okay, so that's why there was no other score. It looked like they were going on to score again, but we know the final score was 58-0. So Valley Union with a fumble recovery there toward the end, and that is how we know that St. David ends up being the team that they are. Because of the leads they're able to generate, the underclassmen, the freshmen and sophomores are able to come in and get that on the field playing time experience that they need in order to be those composed juniors and seniors when St. David does not rebuild, they reload. And that's how they do it. That's how head coach Braden Davis, one of the most cerebral-minded coaches that you will ever see in all of Cochise County, does a great job with those players in that way. It's still 27-0 over in Bisbee Benson. I've got a green light. Where are we going to, Dan? We're going to Bisbee Benson. Let's go see some highlights from them. This was in the third quarter. It was just 14-0. You see Dawson Judd rolling to his left, throwing, getting a big pass completion to Raleigh Evans, starting this amazing drive that Benson was doing in the third quarter. And again, these are highlights that the players will be able to use to be able to show their recruiting film to the coaches of the schools that they're looking to go to. So again, even a simple pass and catch like that is something that they're going to be able to show what they're able to do, how they stay composed on the field. I thought I'd get dressed up tonight, by the way. Do you like the jacket? By the way, I knew this jacket was mine because it said right here, Voice of Arizona. And it had my initials right there, J. Davenport. So I knew this jacket was for me. That's how I knew to pick it, or to have my friend St. Anthony over at Dillard's make it custom for me. So we're hanging out with you here in the Cool Zone, keeping an eye on the scores. The only final that we have official is 58-0 St. David over the Valley Union Blue Devils. A tough start for them tonight. But I've got a green light. Where are we going to, Dan the Man?
Tombstone.
Let's go to Tombstone. I'm seeing that. It looks like Miami had the ball, and they get a big play, and Miami breaks it away for a score. Tombstone defense not able to contain Miami. It was 28-7 at one point. I'm not sure what the score is now. Thank you, SSVEC, for providing that highlight. We'll get an updated score there in Miami as they're in the Gila Valley there. We're going to see one more highlight. Let's go. Doesn't. No, that is not. That's a different highlight. They're on the goal line there. Great shot by the camera people there in Miami, and that is Miami getting stopped just shy of another score. And the Vandals, my goodness, they are starting hot at home tonight with a big lead over Tombstone. And again, that is the theme of Week 1 here in the Cool Zone, is big leads. Again, 58-0, the only final that we have. Still looking for the score for Wilcox. Would love to get that. We want to see a Wilcox highlight? Let's do that. Let's see a Wilcox highlight here. Nope, this is still Miami and Tombstone. So Tombstone, oh, that's okay. We can cut away from that. Anyway, it's the Cool Zone. We're just hanging out together. It's Jeff, your old buddy Jeff, hanging out with you, watching these highlights every game, every Cochise County team, all football season long here in the Cool Zone. Thank you for joining us. And again, if you're watching us live, please leave us some love in the live chat. Activate that fun thing that's going on. Leave us some comments and let us know that this is really cool. You don't understand how cool this is, having this technology to be able to do this and then to provide the highlights for these players to be able to get their film to that next level. This is incredible. Absolutely incredible. So again, the only final we have, 58-0, St. David over Valley Union. Big, huge Week 1 home opener win for the Tigers. We could go live. It looks like we could go live to Bisbee Benson.
Still 28-7 at Tombstone.
So it is still 28-7. Oh, let's get a highlight here. Oh no, we're going to go live. Flag on the play. So again, so still 28-7 in Tombstone. Thank you for that update, Coach Baker. And this is a live look in the Cool Zone. We're seeing a live look in. Dawson Judd rolling to his left, hitting Andrew Workman. And wow, Andrew, he puts in the work. Man, look at him go. My goodness. Andrew Workman, the 5'8", 185-pound senior, put some hurt on that far sideline. It looked like it was going to be a short gain at best, and he turned it into a first-and-goal situation for the Bobcats. They are looking to put an exclamation point on this game. Let's stay live here and see what Benson can do on first and goal. I'm making the call instead of Jared and John. We'll go to them momentarily to hear their call, but I'll make the call here. Looks like, oh my gosh, just short of the goal line. But they are on the verge of a completely dominant win in Bisbee tonight. The 2A San Pedro rivalry that is now divided out into 2A South 1, where the Bisbee Pumas are, and 2A South 2, where the Benson Bobcats are. Second and goal for the Bobcats. Let's see if the Bisbee defense can hold. Dawson looking, throws low, and it is a catch. No, they're saying touchdown. That is a catch. Boy, picking it up at his ankles. A huge play by the Benson Bobcats. They have put it out of reach. This game is just a formality at this point, 33-0. Benson over Bisbee. Let's see the extra point, and then we'll just come back here into the Cool Zone as you are getting a live look in. We're here in the Cool Zone. What an amazing opportunity to see these teams. High snap, but what a great job by number 12. Who was that? Cohen Barney getting the ball down on that high snap, being able to put it down and getting the extra point. 34-0. This is the difference between having a senior quarterback, a 4-year starter like Dawson Judd coming into tonight. This is what Benson wanted to do. Benson wants to make a name in this brand new conference. So, red light, what does that mean?
Well, there's not a lot happening in Wilcox. I have some highlights, but they may not be the most exciting highlights.
That's all right. Let's go take a peek. I mean, some highlights are better than no highlights, and that's what we're doing. So, yeah. So we're in Wilcox. Let's take a look at Wilcox. Looks like Wilcox's quarterback, number 3, Joseph Sanchez, under center. He pitches it to number 13, Ishmael Cuevas. Ishmael Cuevas takes it.
Cuevas breaking a few tackles.
Really trying to get. For that highlight. Sanchez goes back under center. Either way, you can see the same one again. That's absolutely fine. Let's see what Sanchez does. Yep, pitches to number 13. Yep, that's the same play. Did a great job to hang on to it. And a great job by the camera folks. You should have been able to as the ball was being run up that right side. We're looking at some replays here from Wilcox at Palo Verde, the Titans. In the 2A South 1.
Cuevas breaking a few tackles.
That's what we're looking for, is the score update for Wilcox. That's the one that I haven't received one single score there. 28-7, Miami over Tombstone was the last I had there. Final score, St. David over Valley Union, 58-0, and Bisbee Benson, it is 34-0. The Bobcats with a commanding lead. Got some highlights, some more highlights to see.
Check out Tombstone.
Looks like there's a timeout on the field up in Benson, but here we go, Tombstone. Miami on the goal line, and the referee gets in the way, and we'll see. So we see the referee's call as the running back ends up slipping through. You saw him toss the ball to the official right there under the goalpost. So Miami punches in another score. That should make it, I believe, 34-7. Pending the extra point, could be 35-7. Big score differentiations tonight. Red light, where are we going?
I'm letting you know the Wilcox camera died.
Oh no!
We're not gonna get any more Wilcox.
Oh, bummer. The Wilcox camera died. So do we have a score? If we can get a score update from them, if they have another phone there, that would be fantastic. So possibly 34-0, 34-7 or 35-7. Miami Vandals over Tombstone Yellow Jackets. Tough start for the Yellow Jackets. I know that's. Here's the interesting part about the Yellow Jackets. We knew that Tombstone would be facing some issues because of the lack of turnout that they had for their football program. We had that talk with head coach Jerry Rhodes. Now, Jerry Rhodes was the head coach in Tombstone for a couple years before Dominic Bonilla came in. And Dominic Bonilla ended up moving on to, where did he go? He didn't go to San Carlos. He went to Rio Rico. Thank you, Coach Baker. So Dominic Bonilla went from Tombstone to Rio Rico. Jerry Rhodes, a former Tombstone head coach, comes back to Tombstone, and knowing that his team would be the best conditioned team because they only have 22 players on the entire Tombstone roster. So again, they might have a tough season ahead of them, and we're seeing that reflected in the score of either 34-7 or 35-7. Tombstone down to Miami. They are in the fourth quarter in that game up in Miami. We got a red light. Where are we going to? Oh, green light. Are we going to take a live look in, or are we going to?
I got some highlights.
Oh, highlights.
We may have seen them. We may have not.
That's all right. So this was in the fourth quarter. Nice pass over the middle. Again, these are great highlights that these young players can use. Beautiful catch by Jason Santo, taking that ball, getting a big first down. And again, Benson driving, continuing their drive. Looking and finds Raleigh Evans, and he goes in for the score. Great blocking downfield, by the way. And that's another positive of what this program can do is you end up getting, here, watch the block downfield. Watch that block that the wide receiver makes. And guess what? Number 13, Jason Santo, can send that on his highlight reel for making a block that ended up scoring a touchdown, and that is what he can have on his highlight reel as we show Benson getting their third touchdown of this game there in the fourth quarter. And the extra point was up, and the kick was good, making it 21-0, and Benson has opened up the floodgates. We'll see if we have a few more highlights from them.
I do. Hang on a second.
Okay. No problem. Now we got, we're going to look at a Bisbee highlight possibly. Again, not a whole lot of highlights from Bisbee tonight as they're currently down 34-0. You are in the cool zone. Here we go. Let's see. That's Tristan Meyer getting the high snap and losing the ball.
There's a flag too.
Losing the ball, and that was a huge defensive play by the Bobcats. Can we do the replay again? I want to make sure I get the right number of the person who was coming in. That student athlete right there, number 11, Tyson Kilpatrick, coming in and getting the strip. What a great job by the Benson defense on all sides of the ball. They are putting the pounding on Bisbee tonight. You can go to that call and listen to it with Jared and John. They are on the call, and they'll be on the field for their highlight show tomorrow. So high snap, Dawson Judd takes it down, rolls out to the left-hand side, soft toss to number 2, Andrew Workman, and he puts in the Workman. Boy, getting dragged down. Who was that? Number 5 for Bisbee, Cameron Anderson. Cameron Anderson dragging him down there. So just rolling through some highlights for you here in the cool zone. Final scores, St. David over Valley Union. That game is in the books, 58-0. Tombstone down 34-7 or 35-7. I didn't get the update there. We saw Miami score to make the score 34-7. Not sure where that is at. But the game is final. The game has come to an end. This matchup, this rivalry, Bisbee and Benson, comes to an end tonight with the Bobcats going into Bisbee and laying the smack down tonight, all phases. And we believe, after watching the highlights from Dawson Judd, this should be the 2A South 2 Player of the Week. We got some green.
I got one more highlight from that game.
One more highlight from that game before we wrap up the cool zone here tonight. Dawson Judd taking the run, tucking it in himself, hurdling over Tristan Meyer, and pushing ahead to getting a big play for his team. And here they are on that scoring drive. He claps, rolls out to his right, tosses to number 2, Andrew Workman, always putting in the work, man, as he goes in for the score. And that was all in the fourth quarter. So I believe Benson had 3 scores in the fourth quarter. Thank you, Ed Morse Automotive Group, Sierra Vista, Benson, Bisbee, all of Cochise County, backed by Morse. Did you guys enjoy all these highlights? Isn't this pretty cool, being able to do this? Do we have some more highlights left? Dan the man?
Maybe. Hang on just a
Okay, we'll just see if they aggregate. But nonetheless, the final score, the score is final there in Bisbee. Benson with a big 34-0 win. So the Bobcats go to 1-0. Benson next week will be playing at Phoenix Christian. They'll be making that drive up to Phoenix. What will Bisbee be doing? Bisbee will be at Cortez next week. So we'll see how Bisbee can regroup and see what their head coach, Carlos Lopez, is able to do with that team and get them to turn around, get that offense, get Tristan Meyer on all cylinders, firing on all cylinders as they head to Cortez. By the way, St. David will be going to Baba Kivari next week to take on Bobo, while Valley Union will be at Desert Heights Prep. That's where Valley Union will be going for their 1A 8-man league. For Tombstone will be at Pima next week. And again, Tombstone most likely has lost their game. I believe that game has come to an end. Final was either 34-7 or 35-7, with Miami beating them. Miami will be playing home, so they have 2 home games to start their season. Santa Rita will be coming to Miami in the 2A East. 1 week from tonight. Wilcox and Palo Verde. That's the only game that we had a couple of highlights from, but I didn't get a score update from them. So we'll let you know what they're doing next week. Next week, Wilcox will be at Arizona Lutheran Academy, and Palo Verde in that 2A South 1, same division as Tombstone, same division as Bisbee. They will be at ALA Anthem South. Now, we know ALA here in Sierra Vista, the American Leadership Academy, because there's a Sierra Vista campus as well, but ALA Anthem South will be hosting the Palo Verde Titans. That we don't know the score of that game. I don't know if Wilcox ended up winning that game. We'll have to look online and see if we can.
If I got an update.
Yeah, see if we can get an update there, or if we can.
The camera guy said the scoreboard on the field wasn't working, so he's not sure.
Okay. Well, maybe there's like an update on like.
I could call a coach actually.
If you want to, I mean, he might be in the locker room or something. But there might be a score update on like AZ Preps or something like that.
That's what I've been refreshing him.
Oh, and it's still not there. Yeah. So I mean, again, it's week 1 for all of us, and this is how it's going to go here. But this is what the Cool Zone is all about.
Next week, all the teams are going to be.
And guess what? Yeah, guess what we're going to be doing next week? Next week, we're going to be tossing it to like 6 different games. Tonight, we had 4 with highlights all across the board from all of these teams. Highlights for St. David. Some highlights for Valley Union, even in their big loss tonight, they still had some highlights. Highlights from Benson Bisbee. Highlights for Wilcox at Palo Verde, and highlights for Tombstone at Miami tonight. Are we just about ready to wrap up, or do we want to show anything else, Dan?
I think so. I was just waiting to see if anything else was going to come through here.
Okay.
Next week, Berean will be in action. They take on Tahana.
Now that'll be on Thursday night, and I'll be calling that game. I will be at Berean calling that game, hopefully with a very special guest, that being Sheriff Mark Daniels. We do have him on the line for that game as long as his schedule allows. He will be able to call that game with me. John will be on the camera, and I'll be on the call with Sheriff Mark for Berean as they kick off their season. They had a scrimmage against ALA tonight that they were going back and forth for, and the scrimmages for them work with 10 plays on, 10 plays off, 10 plays on, 10 plays off, just kind of working through some stuff and working through their offenses. And it's great that ALA and Berean can come together and work in that way. Now, the difference is Berean is still 8-man. ALA is going to be 11-man. So it looks like we've got a highlight here, and I don't know if this is going to be for Benson or Bisbee, but it looks like that. Oh my gosh, that ball got away, and that is a Benson highlight, and that was in the 4th quarter. That again helped them get that final score, as it was 27-0 there, and ended up finishing 34-0. Coach.
Wilcox 49-0 over Palo.
Really? Great job by the Cowboys. Way to go, Wilcox. 49-0, getting a huge 1-0 start. And again, Wilcox will be at Arizona Lutheran Academy, so 2 away games to start their season. 1 week from tonight, Arizona Lutheran Academy will be hosting our 1-0 Wilcox Cowboys. I want to be a cowboy, baby. And way to go. I got green here. Do we got another highlight?
Yeah, I think I have one. Or maybe we just saw it. I think we just saw it.
Oh, okay. All right, that's fine too. So
We're out for that.
then we're out for the night. Boy.
But Buena will take on Cienega.
Oh, yeah, we should have written that up on this board over here is what we should have done.
Buena versus Cienega.
So Buena versus Cienega next Friday, 1 week from tonight.
And Douglas versus Flowing Wells.
Oh, Douglas versus Flowing Wells. That's going to be a great game as well. And again, St. David will be at Baba Kivari. The Valley Union Blue Devils will be at Desert Heights Prep. Bisbee will be at Cortez. Benson will be at Phoenix Christian. And Tombstone will be at Pima, with Wilcox at Arizona Lutheran. Let's go over the final scores here before we sign off. Want to do?
I was going to say it'll be a week that all of our teams are playing outside teams.
Yes, outside of the conference. So it'll be very exciting to see how they do it. And we are going to be having it all here. So final scores here.
Tombstone's the only home game.
Oh, really? So Tombstone's the only one at home. Okay. So everyone's away except Tombstone. And that's kind of crazy thinking about that as well. So here's what we're looking at. Final scores tonight before we wrap up week 1 of the Cool Zone. The biggest score of the night, St. David Tigers. 58-0 over Valley Union. They go to 1-0 and will head to Baba Kivari 1 week from tonight. A big score for the Wilcox Cowboys, 49-0 over Palo Verde. The 2A South 2, 1-0. Wilcox Cowboys will head to Arizona Lutheran Academy. Tombstone ends up falling to Miami 35-7, we believe, or 34-7. All these scores and highlights will be shown tomorrow on the field with Jared, John, Coach. Everybody's going to be in the studio, all hands on deck. And then the big game of the week tonight, watching who I believe will be the 2A South 2 Player of the Week, Dawson Judd, the quarterback for the Benson Bobcats, having a career game in week 1, leading his team to a massive 34-0 victory over Bisbee in Bisbee. Benson will travel to Phoenix Christian. Bisbee will travel to Cortez. Well, guess what? That's week 1 in the books of the Cool Zone. That's what the Cool Zone is. Highlights every game, home and away. Cameras up high, cameras on the field, giving you as much view as we can of every single Cochise County game. Thank you for joining us for the Cool Zone tonight. Welcome to the revolution that Cool FM Live is bringing all of Cochise County football. On behalf of Dan the Man, Coach Baker, thank you for letting us use your office, Dennis. We appreciate that. We're going to be back in his office next week, bringing you these games and so much more. 6, 7 games next week. I don't know how many. We'll be going out of our minds. Possibly 8. Let's do it. Why not? Why not do 8? Thanks to all of our scorekeepers and statisticians who are keeping up with everything on the game. Thank you to Jared and John and everybody who is making the calls for all these games. It has been an outstanding week 1 here in the Cool Zone. All these highlights being aggregated for these players, for these teams to be able to use to get them to the next level. It's an absolutely awesome thing that Cool FM Live is doing for these schools. Absolutely free of charge, by the way. And that is the way that we roll here at Cool FM Live. Thank you for watching, everybody. Have a great rest of your Friday night. Thanks for watching the Cool Zone and tuning in with us. If you're just joining us, rewind to the very beginning. You will see a lot of highlights from our games. Tombstone at Miami, Wilcox at Palo Verde, Valley Union at St. David, and of course, Benson at Bisbee. Watch all the highlights again tonight. If you replay the Cool Zone, leave us some love in the live chat, leave some comments, please, and then watch on the field tomorrow as the guys are going to be in the studio, and they will be showing you all these highlights again and watching and covering, talking about all the dominance that was shown by our teams this evening. I'm Jeff Davenport on behalf of Cool FM Live. Todd Ryan, the man who started this crazy platform. We love you, Todd, and thank you for doing that. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing. Tag your friends and family members who have people who want to see a red zone-like experience here in the Cool Zone. Have a great night, everybody. We'll catch you later.